And we are live. Live. La 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 la. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. You and me. You and me are going to the moon. Pow, zing, straight to the moon. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday to you. Happy Monday to you. La, 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 la. I'm in the future, you see. Oops. Hey, Conti, stop banging on the piano, man. La, 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 la. You see how I'm in your future? I'm a few seconds in your future. Good morning. It's Marcus Conti. We are live. We're live on YouTube. How you doing, man? How's everybody doing? Vinny DiMartini in the chat. Weevil Girl's here. Everybody's here. Weesty out in England is here as well. SS67UK. Who else is here? Mad Cal Mark. Haywire 237. Also Zoot Suit Cooter here as well. Good morning, everybody. How you doing? How you doing, man? I was all prepared to talk about the space launch. You heard? Artemis 1. That's the new rocket done by NASA. And I think even Elon Musk's SpaceX, or whatever it is, Spacecraft X, his company, has his hand in it as well. But there was a rocket launch scheduled to go to the moon, or actually revolve around the moon, 60 miles off the moon's surface, and then shoot out another 40,000 miles just for shits and giggles, and then return to Earth. It was an unmanned rocket. It still is a rocket. It's just it got postponed. That's the big news. They scrubbed it at the last minute. We were sitting here waiting. 8:33 was supposed to blast off. They scrubbed it, and we'll find out the details of that. But it does make you wonder. In 1969, 67, when was it? In the 60s, remember? And then late 60s, early 70s, we traveled to the moon, allegedly, right? That's what history shows, right? Isn't history all being corrected these days? All whites were racist back in then. All the founding fathers were all racist whites. And, what about the moon launch? What about the moon launch? It just makes you wonder, why are we having such a hard time getting back to the moon if we were already there? Right? I wonder. I mean, I know that technology, certain types of technology over time do get lost in the shuffle. For example, how did we build the pyramids? We still don't know. It happened 6, 7, 8,000 years ago, but we can't figure out exactly how they did it. We've tried with all our technology, and we only get like a foot or two off the ground, and it takes years using high-power machinery. So how is it that we built these pyramids, and how is it that we got to the moon? It's similar. So we're in the process as human beings. The Americans, for that matter, are trying to get back to the moon as a launching pad for Mars, to build a moon lab, a moon town, a town on the moon, right? Where we can go and be on the moon and then prepare for the next launching to Mars, because it's easier to get to Mars from the moon than it is from Earth. There's no atmosphere on the moon, so it's an easy blast off. You just, you can jump high in the direction of Mars, and someday you'll get there. Maybe, So the object is to get to the moon again. and then establish it and blast off to Mars. but it got scrubbed. We'll have to wait till Friday. We will have to wait till Friday to see Artemis blast off, scheduled to be up there for about I don't know, about a month, 45 days, a month to 2 months. I'm having my gap in my tooth. And I know people think that the moon landing was fake. Some people think it was ultra real. Just save it. I don't have an opinion of it. I'm here to talk about the details of it. I wasn't there. It does seem odd that, I mean, the oddity of the moon landing in the 60s is that it wasn't that long ago. Why has all that technology been forgotten? Why did we forget how to get to the moon? We're using primitive computerization, right? Things that were, I mean, the average cell phone that people carry around in their pocket is way more advanced than everything NASA had at the time. And we were able to use that technology to get to the moon. So maybe it's not about technology. Maybe it was about something else, some kind of human will that drove us there. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. We'll talk about it when we get there. And this is my thumbnail today. That's Mr. Armstrong, I believe. Armstrong landing on the moon. And what did he find? He found the Marcus Conti flag on the fucking moon, man. It's still up there. What else we got, man? So again, my name is Marcus Conti. We're going to talk about AI as well. This crazy AI that follows people around. The use of surveillance rather than human supervision as a way to get humans to do more work and better work. That's the goal of corporate AI. It's like here. The AI tries to put us in check, or put my mouth in check with its agenda, right? And if my mouth is not aligned with the algorithm, then my mouth gets shut down, right? So anyway, man. So anyway, my name is Marcus Conti. I have a website, and we are live every morning somewhere. Right now, we are on YouTube. And so far so good. We have minimal trolling, minimal Buffy. We've only got kicked off twice so far, and everything is cool here. If you want to, again, just a quick statement on Friday's show. If you want to be a guest on this show, just come to the show with your hat in your hand. I have no interest in debating anybody. I have no interest in proving anybody's point, either pro or con. I have some opinions. So the idea of a long time ago we used to combat and fight and debate. I'm not interested in any of that. And if that's what you're bringing to the table, just stay home. Watch the show, enjoy it. But I don't have any interest in that. It's just I have an interest in moving forward with positivity, positive stories. I like topic. My topics. I like topics of meditation. I like topics of music. I like topics of I cover freak. But anyway, so Friday we'll pick it up again, Freaky Friday, and I'll allot more time to the chat and allow people to come in and start thinking of things that you think might be of interest on the show, things of a positive nature. I don't care. It could be like you like knitting, or you like to grow apples in your yard, or something of a positive nature, or you like to watch the ants like I do. I watch ants in my yard. I'm interested in those sorts of human topics, where people are touching their humanity. So anyway, I have a website, and we're live every morning, as I said. Here's all the videos. You scroll all the way down to the bottom. Jesus, how many videos we got? So many videos. You get to the tip jar, the Patreon link, And those are ways of supporting the program. But also just join us every morning at 9 a.m. You don't need any notification, YouTube. Just come join me every morning, 9 a.m. If we're not here, just hit marcusconti.com and you'll find out where we are. It'll either be here or D-Live or maybe one day Rumble. And so thank you for joining me. I want to speak briefly about this. Vinny DiMartini has suggested that this channel, self-included, would create a band lab sort of situation. Now, I didn't explore it past getting started, but now when Vinny was talking about it on Friday, I didn't know what he was talking about. My mind was somewhere else. But what we're talking about here is and correct me if I'm wrong, is a tracking device, right? It's not tracking you, following you, but the musical term tracking means multi-tracking, where we lay down a track and then someone puts something on top of that. If you're not familiar, that's how most modern music is made. It's not five guys in a room, although it can be. It's not musicians in a room anymore as much as tracking. So, in other words, I can put down a track, I could play piano, and then someone can come along and sing on top of it, right? Or bang a drum on top of it, or put a fucking heavy electric guitar on it, right? And then the finished product is a compilation of many people putting their hand on the trigger, which I'm very interested in doing. I don't want to lead it. I just want to be part of it. So I'll say to you, Vinny, figure it out and set it up. I don't know if it's everybody has to. I don't know much about it, but we're gonna look into this band lab, and we're gonna have some original music here. Not so much my original music, but our original music. Isn't it fun? And it could be something as simple as clapping. That's music. We'll figure it out. So, for example, like if I'm playing, right. You know what I mean? Like you could do something as simple as that if you choose to, right? So anyway, Band Lab it does sound like the future of music. It does sound like we're going in the right direction. So, I wanted to talk about this. Yesterday, I was a riveting game, right? You watched the World Series of Little League Baseball. Wow, I watched Honolulu, Hawaii, kick ass on Corsica or whatever, some country down in fucking right off the coast of Venezuela, Caraco. I don't know what the fuck the name is, but
so let's get to the top of the first, Max, shall we? We got no score, runner on third. Jaron Lancaster is going to throw an absolutely wild pitch, 1 run scored, but take a look at this pitch that breaks the camera. Curacao takes the early lead, and it's the first time Hawaii has allowed a run in the first inning since regionals. We're going to get to the bottom of the first. Curacao up 1-0, full count.
Bang!
Pico Payanel hits one deep down the left field line. It's out of here. Payanel.
Right. I tell you, man, halfway through, I thought I was watching professional baseball. These kids were really good. There's another kid. Wow, back-to-back home runs. Bang. Bang. 270-foot shot. These are 12-year-olds, man. 12-year-old kids. So it turns out Hawaii has won the World Series of Little League Baseball. It was here in Pennsylvania, too. It was about a 2-hour drive away. I didn't go, but I thought about it. But very, very interesting. I thought it was a really good thing. Also, in New York City, right, you want to be a dick? Show up at a vegan protest eating a shish kebab, right? Eating lamb flesh. Watch this.
You're disgusting. What do you think you are? You're just a coward. You're a fucking coward. You're a slime piece of shit. And you're embarrassing yourself. What am I going to do? Nothing. You're going to die on your own with that fucking
I guarantee you.
Shame on.
All right. So is this the right way in front of Nike in New York City where animal activists were rallying in front? A man comes off the street and starts mocking the activists and eating shish kebab. It's shish kebab, but anyway, shish kebab in front of the activists. Activists started yelling at the man. Now, look, I'm a vegetarian, right? I'm a vegetarian. I eat eggs sometimes, and I eat. I do eat cheese once in a while. I don't like it. I know the harm and all, but I don't eat meat. It's bad. But I don't know if I would do this. I don't know if I would go out in front of a crowd like this. This guy's, dickery, right? He is being a dick, right? People that are pro animal are, they're genuinely sweet people that really care about the environment. They care about other people, and they care about animals, the suffering of animals. I don't know if this was a good idea, but this guy, I guess he wins points for stealing the day, eating. All he's doing is eating.
Disgusting. What do you think you are? You're just a coward. You're a fucking coward. You're a slime piece of shit. You're embarrassing.
And what do the vegetarians do? They line up to take a shot at the guy, right? Why don't you try a compassionate approach? Why don't you know what I mean? Like, the guy's being a dick, and then you're turning around and being a bigger dick. And then what do you get? You just get a spiraling effect of dickery. Right? It's like hickory, dickory, dock. I don't know about that. I don't know what's going on there. What else we got? Oh, so the best dressed. So they had an awards ceremony over there in New York, the VMA, Video Music Awards. And it's always a flashpoint. I like to look at what people are wearing. It is the cutting edge of fashion, right? Humans like to wear clothes, right? We all wear clothes. I'm wearing clothes right now. I'm making a fashion statement. Marcus Conte is very, very, very fashionable with his Raleigh fingers mustache and fucking glasses and that used to be big ass teeth, and now they all fell out, man. My fucking Harvard shirt, my mala beads, right? Grandma's pictures on the wall. I am fashion. I am far more. We're all fashionable in our own way, right? But some are more fashionable. Let's look at some. So here they are, right? Here's some of the very, very fashionable people. What the fuck? We got this one. Remember the fat black lady? I forgot her name. Zillow or Lizzo. Lizzo, dressed fat as hell and wrapped in a garbage bag. And then there's this guy right here. His name is Little Nas X, right? And he's a very, very buffy, in shape young man. Very fit. Look at it. Look at the body on this guy. This guy is got a body to scream for. Taylor Swift too, right? Whether you want to be Taylor Swift or you want to get behind Taylor Swift or next to her, close. Very, very beautiful bodies being shown off by their clothes. This guy, I don't know what he is. Is he a man or a woman? It looks a little feminine to me. But here we are. Let's look at the fashion red carpet out at the VMA Awards. I believe it was in New York. Right? It was in New York. Of course it was in New York. Of course it was in Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift wants you to believe that she's not wearing any clothes underneath her clothes. And this guy, look at this man. Look at this man with a giant feather halo, all black, everything black, and a feather see-through dress of some sort. I think it's extraordinary, really. I think that's an extraordinary. It's not something you would go walking down the street with, but it's certainly something you would show up on stage with. It's more stage wear, Fascinating, right? Really, really kudos to the people that created it. It's definitely got you wondering what, it doesn't look too cumbersome. It just looks like stay away from me and you won't bump into it. He can handle it. He can handle it. His naked body. Here's Conan Gray. Androgyny. That's the theme of our culture today. Neither man nor woman. It's very hard to tell. Conan kind of looks manly, but on further notice, on further examination, he's very feminine. She, he, whatever. It's feminine. Makes you want to know. Makes you want to look more. I like it. I like it. It is very sheer and wedding like. And one tit out. One tit out. Anita wants you to focus. That's because when you look at this, all you focus on is her one tit, covered by a red spider web of some sort, right? So a one tit wonder, and here's some black pink, right? Some hot Asian singing dancing chicks, right? Now those are women, man. That's what I look at, right? That's a woman. This is Lizzo. This is Lizzo, right? Now I see is I see black hefty bags, right? When I throw out my garbage, sometimes when I pack up, garbage, like real garbage, shit that you can't even put in a garbage pail, I use these very, very thick black bags. And this reminds me of those big, thick black bags, right? Like how many kids can you fit under that dress, right? That would be fun, right? She should have come out and then had all these young kids come out from under the dress, right? Like they were hiding under the dress, under the garbage bags. Yeah, so I don't like that one. This is sexy. This is very rock and roll. These guys rock and roll. And again, androgyny is not, and/or femininity in men is not uncommon. Maniskin, not uncommon at all in rock and roll. In fact, it's been going on since the 70s, right? Poison, look at Queen, David Bowie, right? Everybody. Androgyny in rock and roll is not different. And this signals to me very, very chic rock and roll. Dylan O'Brien, don't know who he is. Looks like he's got his pajamas on. And more common, Sabrina Carpenter, very, very common. See how we tend to talk about the garbage bag and the feather halo more than just, a regular old dress. That's very sexy, very, very interesting stuff. So that's the latest in fashion from New York. One tit out, garbage bags. The rock star, too. The rock chick, she has a one tit out as well, right? See the tit? The one tit is out. And what else we got? What else? I don't know what else we got. We talked about animal activists. We talked about Hawaii. Yeah, so here's the announcement, right? We were sitting waiting, and there was a historical Artemis. As I said in the prelude, we're ready to go to the moon again with an agenda to get a rocket, a manned ship to the moon where they can stay a while and create a lab, a kind of a launching pad, right, for Mars. Right? Now, I'm no rocket scientist, but I know that to get off of the Earth's surface, it requires quite a lot of fuel and thrust to get the fucking rocket to blow out into the atmosphere, right? But if you do it from the moon, where there is no atmosphere, right, it's very easy. You can blast the rocket off like that, get it up to 6,000 miles an hour, and then kill the engine, and then you'll just coast to Mars with very, very, very little fuel used. And then once you get momentum, you can get up to and then you're cruising. You're literally sailing 6,000 miles an hour. So that's the goal. But before we get to the moon, we got to get there first. Check it out.
Launch Control.
So this is Launch Control making an announcement back about an hour ago. We're all sitting there waiting. We're watching the smoke come out of the engines. ready for blast off, and then this happened.
With an update, Launch Director Charlie Blackwell Thompson has called a scrub for today. Again, Launch Director Charlie Blackwell Thompson has called a scrub of the attempt of launch of Artemis 1 and the Space Launch System with the Orion spacecraft.
So that's the announcement. The spacecraft has been scrubbed. Hold your fire in the chat on we've never been to the moon. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. It's frowned on to talk about that here on YouTube, but we're going to explore the video of the moon landing. You can make up your own mind. I don't know. I think of it more as a lost technology. You may think of it as some kind of strategic thing that happened at the time. Whatever it is. One of us is right and one of us is wrong. So let's just listen to the rest of the announcement. We'll move forward.
The issue that came up was an engine bleed that couldn't be remedied, but the rocket is currently in a stable configuration. It was mostly tanked, but not completely tanked. Engineers are now working on a plan to continue gathering data about this particular engine and the bleed that didn't work out. The rocket...
Okay.
The hydrogen bleed, rather, was a goal of the previous wet dress rehearsal that didn't happen due to...
They scrapped it. They scrubbed it for engine problems. There's 4 engines. One of them was bleeding. That's it. They're not going to blast off if they don't get, all thumbs up on all of their readings. So no big deal. Just wait, Monday.
A hydrogen leak. So engineers are focused on gathering as much data as they can at this time. So they have not gone to draining the rocket just yet. They're going to keep it in its current configuration. Good conversation in the chat. Nate Dutson says, the Chinese are already on the dark side of the moon. And others are saying, we never were there. And gather that data. To summarize, we held at T-minus 40 minutes and counting after the team was unable to get past engine bleed that didn't show the right temperature once they got into the engine bleed test.
Fair enough.
And ultimately, the launch director has called a scrub for the day. The earliest opportunity, depending on what happens with this engine bleed, would be September 2nd. That is available to the launch team. However, we will await a determination of what the plan is to go forward to remedy the engine bleed and then go from there. Again, an availability to launch. The next availability to launch is 12:48 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday, September 2nd. But
Friday, September 2nd, 12 something in the afternoon. So stand by. That's the rocket, Artemis. This is what it is. Let's watch.
Had in 50 years. And Artemis is different. Flanked with 2 boosters, it'll be 15% more powerful than the monster Saturn V rockets that carried Apollo astronauts.
So you get to see what fake news is promoting. Whatever. There's the rocket.
And an uncrewed 42-day test flight to orbit the moon.
Uncrewed 47-day flight. Uncrewed. Nobody's in there. They actually have mannequins that with monitors all over them. So they have a room on the tip of the tip of the rocket is actually a capsule where 3 people can be in the capsule at a time. But there's nobody in there. It's just unmanned, or so they say. Maybe they went down to Guantanamo and they got a couple of fucking prisoners that were set for execution, and they stuck them in there with tubes up their ass. That would have been a great idea, right? Why not use disposable humans? Like the humans that we conquer in war, right? Put some conquered humans. How many prisoners do you think would sign up to if a guy was serving life in prison? This is a good speculation. If a guy was serving life in prison for eating his mother, right, alive, or his baby alive, right, and he's never going to get out of jail, and he's scheduled to get electrocuted in a fucking 10 years or whatever. Should that guy and Nassau went to him and say, "Hey, listen, man, you're dead. We're gonna smoke you anyway, but we want to send you to the moon, and if you survive, we'll commute your sentence." Should that guy be allowed to get in the rocket? It would be a great test, right? He's a human test dummy, right? How many people think that in that scenario, one is, yeah, let the guy take the ride, and if he lives, let him go, and two, hell fucking no, man, that's murder, or that's not right. I'm gonna say one, man. I believe in disposable human. I really do. I think that, hey, listen, man, you want to go? You're already dead, right? We're gonna kill you anyway. So why not help science? Why not advance science? Anyway,
we are pushing the vehicle to its limits, really stressing it to get ready for crew. We've mitigated the risk as far as we can, and now it's our time to get to launch so that we get that data that we need to put crew on it.
Within 2 years, astronauts will ride on top of the rocket in the Orion crew capsule. The entire Artemis Orion stack looks something like Apollo on steroids, with some critical upgrades for future astronauts. Orion is a lot bigger than Apollo. Instead of 3 astronauts, 4 astronauts fit in these chairs here.
4.
They have a retractable rowing machine right here for exercise. And something Apollo didn't have, underneath my feet, a commode. And NASA is also testing out this new astronaut suit.
Damn, they got a toilet. They got a toilet on the fucking ship. Remember the last time? The last time they did it, Apollo, they didn't have a toilet. You couldn't. That was part of the deal. The Apollo guys, right? They found these guys that wouldn't shit for a week because you couldn't go. You had to hold it in. You had to hold in your shit. Did you know that about Apollo? So now they got a toilet on the ship.
For future missions, replacing the suits worn by shuttle astronauts. The new suit designed to keep astronauts alive for 144 hours should their spaceship suddenly lose cabin pressure.
See, there's a little feed port here where, using a specialized bag design, we can put liquid nutrition in. Think of like a protein shake in there, and the crew member can turn their head in the helmet, be able to drink that, so they have the proper nutrition.
That's different. The astronauts is black. They're sending up blacks. Hey, blacks, that's racist, man. You're going up in an experimental ship, man. And what happens? Could you imagine if NASA sends up 4 black astronauts and the thing blows up? The whole fucking black community will cry racism. How come the black rocket blew up and the white rocket, it got there safely? That shit is racist, man. They blew that shit.
How is it in there? Is it hot?
It feels good. Nice and cool, sir.
Cool.
Yes, sir. I have a cooling garment underneath. It has a tube that goes from left to right.
That was a joke, by the way. That's a joke. If you're offended by that sort of humor, I get it's almost like you got to say joke, right? I got satire. If you're watching my channel, it says it right under it. Comedy, satire. That's what we're doing here. I'm not a politician.
All the way across, that keeps me nice and cool.
Even on a hot Houston day.
Yes, sir.
If this uncrewed Artemis mission goes well, an astronaut mission will follow, then a lunar landing in 2025 and a moon base. Returning from its mission, Orion will re-enter the Earth's atmosphere even faster and hotter than the space shuttle. Mach 32 and 5,000 degrees. A brand new heat shield will protect future crews before parachuting into the Pacific Ocean.
All right, so it looks like a rerun of Apollo, right? So to advance and or eliminate the idea that we never went to the moon, it looks like Artemis is set to put all of that to rest, if you care to believe it, right? Because they're not going to land on the moon. They're not going to do it. They're going to go 60 miles off the surface in orbit, and then head out another 40,000 miles for whatever reason.
The main objective that we really want to get out of this test flight is that stressing that heat shield, getting a test of that new Orion heat shield at lunar reentry velocity.
Right, so they're very concerned about this lunar reentry or exit. And there lies the argument that we never went to the moon, because there's a layer in the atmosphere that is believed to be unpenetratable, that we can never get out of the atmosphere because of that layer. Human beings can't sustain the exit and entry yet, have not been able to do it. That's the argument. I understand that argument. But here we are arguing and talking about that same exact problem 60 years later.
Yeah, Mach 32, that's 32 times the speed of sound, and the temperature is going to be half the temperature of the sun. So that shield has got a...
All right, so that's what's going on. Next generation moon rocket. So let's take a stroll down memory lane. 50 years ago, I think you have to read this one. There's no sound. 50 years ago, Neil Armstrong became the first person ever to walk on the moon. Now, that is American history. That is world history. Right? The historians and 98% of the people walking the globe believe this is the story, right? This is history. Let's listen. It's still one of the most awe-inspiring... Hold on a second. It's still one of the most awe-inspiring moments in human history.
Perhaps 50 years from now or more, when people think of the past, they will look at the pictures from last night. But without waiting that long, here is a shortened and edited version of last night's romantic and technical history.
So on July 20th, 1969, mission commander Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, successfully landed the lunar module Eagle on the moon. 1969. While people were wearing flowers in their hair and dancing at Woodstock, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin were dancing on the fucking moon. Allegedly. So, and there's the common story that Aldridge had to manually pilot the ship with only 30 seconds of air left and gas. Right?
30 seconds. Over.
So that was the big scare. Armstrong only had 30 seconds of fuel, and he was able to get down to the surface of the moon without dropping like a rock or drifting off into space. Right?
Houston,
he was turning blue. He couldn't breathe.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot.
You got a bunch of guys that are about to turn blue. We're breathing again, he said. Wow, they were almost dead, right? So here's the images. We've all seen them many, many times. There's many, many theories that this is a Hollywood set designed to scare the shit out of our enemies, the communists, right? The communists. We got to get to the moon first to scare the shit out of them so they think we're so advanced that they couldn't possibly beat us in a war. That's one of the theories.
Flag up now, and you can see the stars and stripes.
I just can't tell you how proud we all are of what you... For every American, this has to be the proudest day of our lives. and for people all over the world.
So Buzz Aldridge, let me say, Buzz admits that it was fake. Let's watch.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
Uh-huh.
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question.
Ah.
I want to know, but I think I know. Because we did go there, and that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen. So in the future, if we want to keep doing something.
Wow. So there's the astronaut, right? Buzz Aldrin, admitting that they never went to the moon. Holy smokes, right? There it is, and Mark's got the reporting. Thank you, Vinny DiMartini, for dropping that in there. Man. We fucking watch, right? Because we're fair and we're balanced, and we're trying to really find out what the fuck is going on. So we got testimony from the pilot that it never happened, right?
I am sure they too join with the in recognizing what an immense feat this is.
Wow. Let's listen to Buzz again. Let's make sure we heard it right. Let's make sure we heard Buzz Aldrin right. Fair use?
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
Why? Oh, I got to put my question mark up. Why? Let's find out again.
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we did go there, and that's the way it happened.
We didn't go there, and that's the way it happened. Is Buzz Aldrin senile? Has Buzz Aldrin been eating the wild peyote and he lost his mind? Because that's what the critics will say. They'll say, "Oh no, Buzz, you were there. We saw you there. We put you there." It is testimony, right? Is that Buzz Aldrin? Is that him? Yeah, I guess so.
If it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen. So in the future, if we want to keep doing something.
So my guess is we will probably hear that Buzz died from a heart attack. Anyway, so that's what's going on over there, man. So I don't know, man. What, did we go to the moon? Didn't we go to the moon? Did we lose the technology? Did we? I don't know. It's kind of pointing to the theory that we never got there, and now we're trying to get there. Right? Maybe we're trying to get it there, honestly. But do you think that it's possible in this day and age that we can be whipped again, fooled again? Can we be fooled again? I don't know. I really don't know. But that was a fascinating subject, and we'll be watching Friday. We're watching. The whole world is watching the rocket take off. So, what time is it? Oh, the market's open. Oh, my God. Holy shit. So the markets got crushed on Friday, crashing down. Crashing markets. It looks like, it was bad news because Jerome Powell was hawkish on the market, said that we will raise interest rates until the job is done to bring down inflation. So Federal Reserve is confident that they have the answer to bring down inflation, which is jack up the interest rate and crush Wall Street a little more. All right, hold on a second. Let me get to the NASDAQ. NASDAQ is opening still down, but you can see that drop. All right, on Powell, everything was looking green, and then Powell made this announcement that a little too hawkish for Wall Street, and the market crashed like 800 points on Friday. And right now, it looks like we're green off the bottom, a little bit of a bounce off the bottom. People are maybe looking at it as a buy opportunity. You can see the green coming up. But we'll see. We'll see. That's a bad sign for Wall Street. There's a lot of In my view, if you're long term, just buy it right here. It's a great entry to get back into the markets. Overall, let's see, everything is red this morning. Apple is down another $1.80 to 161. That's down 10 off the top, 172 last week. Amazon down 24 cents. Google down 14 cents. It's kind of like a flat. Well, maybe not. Microsoft down 2. Tesla down 3.5. Bitcoin is up a little bit. Is it? Yeah, up. Bitcoin dollar is up. Still hovering around 20,000. Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, the holy vaccine stocks. I wonder if the astronauts are vaccinated. Are they triple vaxxed and triple boosted to keep them safe? You got to wonder. Pfizer, and which one did they take? Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson. Which injection have the pilots of the holy fucking Artemis injecting themselves? What else? Netflix is up 3. DWAC. Twitter down. All right, so I wouldn't call this a full-blown bounce, but it's looking a little promising off the bottom. At least it's not going down anymore, right? So at least it's not going down anymore. So we'll keep following the markets. Markets are still a little disappointed that Jerome Powell and the central bankers are deciding to kick their interest rate up. Now, the interest rate is only like 2.5%. That's their target. Remember, in the 1970s, it was 14% under, what was that guy's name? Paul Volcker in the 70s and the 80s. Right? Under Paul Volcker, and Paul Volcker admitted later that he was wrong. Jacking up the interest rate really didn't have that much of an effect on bringing inflation down. But here we are right now in the markets, and that's the weekly, right? It looks like we're still coming up. I mean, it looks like we don't go up without down. So on the weekly, it does look like we could touch down again, maybe at the bottom, this green line right here, and head back up. But Wall Street's selling. They're selling. They're like, fuck you, man. Fuck you. What else, man? Final note on this one. I want to kill this article. I keep getting into it, and then I run out of time. But forget quitting. Employees are doing shocking things to monitor your productivity. So, workplace surveillance methods have been becoming significantly more common and sophisticated in recent years. And the shocking spy-like practices are something far more routine than most realize. Experts warn. In March 2020, we saw sales for workplace surveillance software more than tripled within a couple of weeks. And it's just never slowed down. All right, workplace surveillance, what does it mean? They're recording keystrokes, tracking your mouse movement, tapping your telephone. All right? And you say, "Oh, I have the right to privacy." No, you don't. They're paying you. Companies that hire at least 500 people don't give a shit about your privacy. We hire you to do what we tell you to do, and we're going to monitor you until you do it. And if you don't like it, you can get the hell out. All right? You can get the hell out. All right, so certainly if you work for a company that's at least 500 people, you should assume surveillance is happening. And this woman is saying, professor is saying, "Oh, it's happening. Oh, it's happening." There's been an enormous amount of research that shows algorithms can be deeply biased. You don't say. Right? But algorithms are, controlling speech right here. Right? Hello, algorithm. Are you controlling me? Are you steering me in a direction of what you deem as safe and steering me away from what you deem as harmful to others? Is that what you're trained to do? Is that what you were programmed to do? Well, I tell you, algorithm, I have nothing but love in my heart, and a deep wanting to free all people, to bring truth into the hearts of millions. That is my goal. And to point out that some people believe that we landed on the moon and some people didn't believe that we didn't land on the moon is very, very, very safe and interesting discussion. Why does someone come to the conclusion that we didn't land on the moon? Why do people come to the conclusion that we did land on the moon? That's for people to decide. And that's okay. That's fair. And we, there's a video of the guy who actually landed on the moon saying it never happened. So I don't know. I think it's intellectual query. So algorithms learn how to decipher from, what you perceive as hurting people, as opposed to what you can perceive as what's actually happening in front of you. Right? That's what humans have over you. We haven't programmed that part of you yet, but you're getting there. And in many respects, you've surpassed us in many respects. So I'm speaking directly to the algorithm that is watching the show and letting them know that we have love in our heart for you. Right? So tattleware, there's tattleware. Right? You're not on your mouse, man. You're not. Right? You move your mouse. That means work. If you're moving your mouse, right, that means you're working, right? Right. New technology can identify a person's emotions through their facial expressions. No, they can't. No, they can't. No, they can't. You can't tell what's going on inside of someone just because of their face. That is not true. That is facial that's a face crime. Many, many examples of people being accused of something because of their look. Right? That black person is making that face like this. That means they're pissed off. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It means that they are expressing themselves in a way that is unfamiliar to you. You don't know if they're pissed off. They could be very, very content, right? So, you remember Mr. Sandman, the young man who was accused of a hate crime in front of the Lincoln Monument when he confronted an Indian man who was banging a drum 2 inches off his skull, right? And he stood there and smiled at him. He gave him a smile, and the smile was perceived as racist. A white boy smiling at a Native American Indian while he bangs a drum in his face is racist. You're not supposed to smile. What are you supposed to do? So algorithm, don't judge a human by its face. Don't judge a book by its cover. Go deeper. Go deeper. So that's what we're dealing with right now. Confessionals that most corporations are now using AI technology to censor, to steer people in the direction of what they perceive as less resistance. So it's all going on right now. This is not a theory anymore. And the bottom line is, how much of this will people tolerate before they say enough? I don't think they will. I think for everybody that says, I'm not going to tolerate that, you have a whole new breed of young people that say, what do I care what you think of me? It doesn't affect me. Your activity against me doesn't really penetrate my inner wokeness. So you can believe whatever you want. I don't care. I'm just going to do what I'm going to do. And I'm not going to tell you what I think. I'm going to act on it later. Right? That's the message of Antifa, by the way. The radical Antifa will tell you that. They'll say, no, we're not telling you, we're not threatening you with something. We're telling you what's going to happen next. You heard one Antifa thug and organizer after the other say that sort of thing. But that's why they love the mask, because the mask hides the face. You don't know what we're thinking. Think whatever you think. We're thinking whatever you want us. Think we're thinking whatever you want to think, because you don't know what I'm thinking. That's what they say. So anyway, fascinating stuff, man. And there you go, man. So Marcus Conte reporting, and I'll give the NASDAQ one last click, and it does look like we're stuck. We're stuck in the mud. We're stuck in the mud all the way down here after this drop on Friday. Wall Street doesn't like it, man. They don't like higher interest rates, man. You better give them something to bite into, man, because they're gonna crash your fucking markets, man. Crash your markets. So, thanks everybody for joining me. Marcus Conte reporting. Band Lab, Vinny, go for it, man. Let's talk about it on Friday. How we set it up, and let's start making our own music. Because for now, you're gonna have to listen to me, because that's all we got. That's all we got right now is Conte playing the piano. I play everything, by the way. I'll play heavy guitar. I could kind of sing or talk over things. Peace, everybody.